This video is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to do a how-to video on coffee. I'm going to be using my cold brewer. I'm going to show you my equipment, all of my little stuff, what kind of coffee I use, what kind of grinder I use, and then I'm going to show you a video on my process of making coffee. So to start, you got to have good beans. I use the Roastery's City of Fountain beans, which I keep in a vacuum container. Those are beautiful. I just use a cheap $10 grinder. Gets the job done. I'm thinking about buying a Bruer grinder, but this little grinder gets the job done. I use paper filters along with the stainless steel filter in my cold brewer. These are just ones that I buy at a local coffee shop. They sell them for like $3 for 500. This is my coffee maker. This is my coffee maker assembled. Now that I've shown you the equipment, I'm going to go to a heads-up view and show you how I make the perfect pot of coffee. So the first thing you have to do, always start with fresh coffee beans. Never buy pre-ground. Always spend a little money, get what you need to do to get a coffee grinder. Like I said, this was like 15 bucks. Fresh coffee. I use about that much. Put my coffee lid away. I'll seal that back up later. Oh, I got a little extra. I'm going to go ahead and shut the audio off because this will be loud. That is about the ground that I go for right there. It's a little coarse, but it's not chunks. The next thing that I do is I pre-soak my grounds. Making a mess. Pre-soak my grounds in a little water just to get it started. I've noticed that it does help out with the cold brewer. That's probably enough. I always use filtered water. Get a little air mixed up into it to get everything rolling. And you know you're good when it begins to foam. Next up, get the brewer base. Take this little cap out of here. Filter pad. I pre-wet my filter pad. Throw that lid on there. Place it in the base. Make sure your coffee is all wet. You can see it's nicely mixed. I go ahead and pour off the first little bit, and then I begin to scoop the grounds in. There is a line on the side of this brewer where you normally stop. I go a little bit higher, gives a little bit better concentration of the coffee. Next, I use a damp paper towel to wipe down the edges. Helps me to get the seal in. So once your seal is in, as you can see, it just popped back out on me. Once you get your seal in, go ahead and place the CO2 stem in. Make sure everything is nice and pressed down. Now you're going to add your ice and water. I currently forgot to make ice, so we're just going to do water today. that is all. That is all the water that I add. Now I'm going to bring the camera down here to show you what's already happening. And as you guys can see, it's already brewing. Coffee looks good. Need to adjust the drip. Actually, that drip is perfect. And now this will take 6 to 8 hours to finish brewing. So by the time I get home from work tonight at 10 o'clock, it'll be done. I'll put it in its container, and then I have coffee for the week. And then I'll have coffee for the next 2 days, and then I have to redo the process. And this is the product about 8 hours after starting.